Welcome back to Tammy Talks About. So, just a quick video I thought we'd do this morning. It's kind of an interesting article that I found in Showbiz Cheat Sheet. This article is from July the 16th, 2021. And before we get into it, as always, if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. Of course, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. And as always, share these videos. You know, it's because of you that I am 1 or 2 subs away from 600 subs. I never dreamed that I would even get 100 subscriptions. So thank you so much. And thank you for everything that you do. I love doing this. It helps me in so many ways that we won't even get into right now. But thank you. I really, really, truly appreciate everything. Okay, so today's video is an article that I found, like I said, from Showbiz Cheat Sheet. And this was written by, and I hope I don't butcher the name, Monique Dowdy, maybe? Its title is The Viper Room. Johnny Depp co-owned the famous bar with a man who sued him in 1999 and has been missing since 2001. And now, I have seen a story about this before, and it is kind of weird, but you know, what I found interesting we'll get into in just a minute, but we'll just kind of quickly go over it, and I will leave a link to this article in the description box. And you can read the entire article because it is very long, and it does go into some other articles that coincide with stories about the Viper Room, but we'll just hit some highlights and talk for a moment. The Viper Room is one of the most infamous spots in Hollywood. It's always been a place that attracted a ton of A-listers, from legendary actors to rock and roll's most iconic bands. The club was also a hotbed of illegal activities, tabloid rumors, and one heartbreaking tragedy. Of course, we're talking about River Phoenix. The Viper Room is also surrounded in a controversy involving former owner Johnny Depp and a business partner who mysteriously went missing after suing the actor for fraud. Let's see, and then this goes into kind of a history of the Viper Room. It says the Viper Room, the West Hollywood hotspot, has quite a history. Let's see, the building had a very humble start back in the 20s. It opened in 1921 as a very small grocery store and was located very close to the small industrial neighborhood Sherman. Residents of Sherman shopped there for necessities for more than 20 years until the location transformed from a grocery store to a nightclub. And, you know, in the 40s, and the strip had gone through a complete makeover. It was renamed Greenwich Village Inn. And let's see, it says by this time the underground club scene in Hollywood wasn't so underground anymore. Undercover investigators were sent into various clubs reporting back to the government about shocking, provocative, disturbing acts occurring at these clubs. Nothing came of these investigations because law enforcement and the mobsters were all profiting in one way or another from activities like prostitution, drugs, and gambling. In 1950, the club changed names once again and became a strip club called The Last Call. The club was shut down in 1951 when laws were passed banning lewd dancing and cross-dressing in 1951. The establishment became the Melody Room, cementing its place in the Sunset Strip. In the Sunset Strip as the place to go for live music. Then we get into the next section. Johnny Depp co-owned the Viper Room with a man that mysteriously disappeared. According to Visit West Hollywood, Johnny Depp teamed up with fellow actor Sal Jinko to open the Viper Room in 1993. Depp gave guests a stunning opening night, booking Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And shout out to Nikki. I know that is one of her favorite bands and one of mine. And R.I.P. Tom Petty. He was an amazing, amazing artist. Anyway. The club has hosted numerous legendary musical artists and has also been used on the big screen in a variety of movie scenes. Well, what I want to get into, let's see what they've got here. Just a few weeks after Depp's opening, the Viper Room was forever changed by a tragic event. On Halloween night, 1993, actor River Phoenix fatally overdosed on cocaine and morphine. And, you know, I hate it's a horrible thing, and We've all heard the story. It is very tragic. But it's this next section that kind of caught my eye when I was scanning through this article to see if it was something that I might want to do a video on. AH was hoping to uncover evidence of Depp's involvement in the disappearance. Now, let's see. Yeah, it's going to go into... In 1999, the relationship between Johnny Depp and one of his business partners, Anthony Fox. Fox accused the actor of cheating him out of money from the Viper Room. According to Meow, I don't know how, MEAWW, it's a web article, magazine. Fox said Depp used shady accounting to fraud to hide millions of dollars from him. Fox sued Depp, alleging that the actor hid assets in another company to defraud him. He was due to testify in court in 2001 in front of Depp and 4 other business partners associated with the club. However, on December 19, 2001, Fox mysteriously disappeared. According to the Charlie Project, investigators found that Fox's pickup truck was missing along with a .38 caliber revolver. He also left behind several $1,000s in a bank account. He had a teenage daughter. His pickup truck turned up a few weeks later, but Fox was never found. In 2004, Depp ended up giving his share of the Viper Room to Fox's daughter, who sold it. Although Depp was never accused of any involvement in the incident, rumors swirled that Fox's disappearance right before he had to testify was very suspicious. Depp's ex-wife, asked a private investigator to look into the issue further after the two split, according to the Daily Mail. No evidence was turned up during any of the investigations, however. Fox's case still remains open, and he is still considered to be an endangered missing person. Now, you know, of course that caught my eye, and if you've been following this case, then you know that she did hire a private investigator, and she was trying to get any dirt she possibly could on Johnny because, well, there's lots of dirt on her, and it's looking like that coming up in Virginia next year, she's going to be losing a $50 million lawsuit. And what was so funny about that entire thing with the investigator that she hired, this guy, in case you aren't familiar with it, he went back, you know, through Johnny's entire past, and he could find no one that would have a bad word to say about him, or if it wasn't so bad, it was more like, well, you know, we just didn't get along, or something like that. There was nothing bad to be said about Johnny. However, in his investigations, he did find many people who despised AH and was willing to go on record to say so. And that says a lot about the two people, which, you know, of course, you know, really doesn't have to be said, but for some reason, there are still people out there that believe that this woman truly went through the things that she's accused Johnny of. But when you look at the evidence and you stack up the person against the other person, wow, huge daylight and dark differences. And I find it funny that, you know, she was trying to dig up anything she possibly could, down to just, yes, I know it's a mysterious thing that the man disappeared right before he was set to testify, but, you know, to imply that Johnny had anything to do with it is kind of ludicrous in my eyes anyway. And the fact that she was hoping that she could find something. That's what's so hilarious to me. And, you know, it just shows what kind of person she is, because she obviously had no clue what kind of man Johnny is. The fact that she would even think it necessary to hire a private investigator, you know, if she had any kind of clue of who he was as a human being, she would have known that it would have been useless. He's a good, decent human being by all accounts. And yet she was still trying to dig up something. I think in her mind, she knows what a vile, horrible excuse for a human being she is, and all of her friends are, that he couldn't possibly be a decent human being. She's finding out total opposite, isn't she? You know, this entire thing, while funny at times, it is still a sad situation because unfortunately he fell in love with this woman. We're talking about a woman who shit his bed because she was angry because he was late for her birthday party. Really? We're talking about a woman who accused him of horrible things when in reality she did those things to him. So it is to be expected. But I just thought this would be a fun little article to talk about. Let me know what your thoughts or memories are of the Viper Club. I remember wanting to go there, especially after I found out Johnny opened it, but I remember wanting to go to the Sunset Strip back in the day, and the Viper Room was one of the places I wanted to go into and hopefully maybe run into Johnny. But let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. And as always, until next time, be blessed.